I'm Rachel and I went to Colombia and I went to the capital city of Bogota for 9 months.
I'm Anisa and I also went to Colombia and I was on the outskirts of the capital Bogota in a community called Soacha for 9 months as well.
So I really felt called when I was 12 to Colombia, having no idea where that was in the world. And over the 12 years after that, I just felt challenged, and God really used that to then lead me to Stride the last January, and then I started the process.
So I was brought up in Kenya, and I lived in quite a few different countries within Africa before moving to Cyprus and then England. So I had quite a passion for travel and missionary work and sort of NGO work. So in my gap year between A-levels and university, I was really keen to travel and not just travel and enjoy the sights of the world, but do something to give back and to look after the creation that God has given us. And I was led by God, because I had never heard of Latin Link, to Latin Link, and it just all fell into place, and it really was an answer to what it was I was looking for and felt my heart was looking for.
So I was working in a Commodore, which is a place set up for children to come when they're not at school. So they get given lunch and they do their homework and maybe do some activities and games. I was working there 9 till 4, Monday to Friday, and I worked with the children, particularly with their homework, because a lot of it was quite hard for them. It's not particularly age related or ability related there, so a lot of it was quite hard for them. And actually challenged me, a lot of the maths. And having completely different systems for doing things was quite hard. So that was generally, I just spent my time with the children, talking to them a little bit about Jesus, teaching them a bit of English, and just, I think it was just really about just being with them and having someone there to talk to and just to hang out with.
So I was involved in a project called Comedor Pan y Vida, which translates to dining room, bread and life. And that really sums up what the project gave. We fed lunches to 130 children every day. So I got involved in prepping the food and serving it up. However, we did also have extra activities that we ran during the week, such as sports programs, a discipleship course for the children, and I also started teaching some English classes. So it was really great just to be involved and to encourage the children in stimulating ways and in group contexts. So I think quite naturally one of my fears was to do with the language. I went out to Colombia with pretty much only hola and ¿cómo estás? But that was really quickly resolved, really, because once you're immersed and you realise that just giving it a go is all the Colombians are asking for, or all the Latin Americans are asking for. Another fear of mine was getting myself around the city using public transport and not getting lost. But again, Colombians are really helpful. My host family was really useful in terms of giving me advice on what buses to take and how to get around safely.
For me, I would say that having not particularly wanted to go on Stride, but feeling it was something that I had to do, one of my big fears was leaving the comfort of my home and my hometown and my friends and family. But that was something that, although I missed my home, I truly learned to appreciate what I had at home while I was away, if that makes sense. And I was so welcomed by the Colombians. The Colombians are so welcoming and friendly. When I arrived, that wasn't a fear that I felt that was necessary, I guess. I think the biggest highlight for me was being immersed in a different culture. I have never been outside of Europe before I went to Colombia. So it was a massive thing for me to go to Colombia and experience a new culture, which is very different to our culture, but it's so warm and relational and friendly, and I just love being immersed in that.
So I'm going to be a bit cheeky and I'm going to give 2 highlights. One of them's quite simple, and it was just sort of the achievement of learning Spanish and being able to have conversations in another language. My other highlight is more personal, and I was just really encouraged that through this time my confirmation of my calling and my passion for this type of work and this community and social action focus was a personal calling and not something that was just a reflection of my parents or my church. So that was really encouraging for me. Absolutely not. Of course we would. Oh, I would.
Go on then. I would as well, but...
So I would recommend Stride, mainly because it can be difficult, but you learn so much from it and you really develop your relationship with God through relationships with others, through reflecting on yourself and how you experience different situations and different cultures. And the thing is, you get so much support that you shouldn't ever really worry that you're going to be so overwhelmed by a certain event that should be what puts you off. I recommend it.
I really agree with the idea of the support. I think it can be a very, well, it's terrifying. It was terrifying for me. A scary idea to go to the other side of the world. And the people have done it just for travelling on their own and things, and that idea absolutely terrifies me. So having the support of the in-country team, as well as the support from the England team and the other offices around the world, I think was a really helpful and a really important part of it. Yeah. I'd recommend Stride.